everyone, Sonic the Hedgehog! Hey, we're Resident here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. In the previous episode, we explored a Termina Field, and today's episode we're finally going to be making some story progress. Isn't that exciting? Right then, so that's not the button I meant to push. So, the first things first, something that I really want to mention real quick is, remember a little while back when we were in the Pirate's Fortress, and I was talking about how collecting the stone mask has changed slightly? So, this is where you'd originally find the stone mask if you're playing on the Nintendo 64 version of this game. And it was a kind of interesting way to find the mask, because you had to go a little bit out of the way, but at the same time, that's kind of what the problem was the fact that you had to go out of your way to go get it. So, if you had no idea where it was, then by the time you actually got to the mask, then it'd be a little bit pointless. And also, why can I not jump over this fence? Let's try it again. Come on, Epona. There we go. Third time's the charm. So, this is where you'd originally find the stone mask if you're playing on the Nintendo 64 version. But, as I demonstrated earlier in the Let's Play, they've changed where it is so it's closer to where it's actually going to be useful.
What are you doing in a place like this? Ikana Hill beyond here is the place where spirits with troubles and lingering regrets wander. Even now, the spirits wander in search of one who can save them. It is unfortunate, but it is no place for one such as you. If you must enter, then you must obtain the mask containing the wandering spirit. Near the ranch are a pair of men with the mask of an Ikana ninja. Men of poor character who commit evil deeds, find them. Without that mask, you cannot help the restless spirits of Ikana. Without it, you cannot save their souls. It is now in your possession. I can't read apparently. Until it is in your possession, I will not let you pass by here. So, on the corner of the screen right now, you can click on a YouTube card that will take you to where we found this mask. But this is the mask the guy up there was talking about. So, without further ado, let's get off Epona, because we apparently can't wear a mask and ride a pony at the same time. Well, I guess that makes sense, because wearing a mask would obscure your view and things like that. Don't ask me how the mask of Zora works. That's a nice mask you're wearing. That is the mask of the leader of the ninjas, who once spied on the hilltop castle with a blood-stained history. With that, you may be able to call out their spirits that even now are still wandering. Perhaps you may be able to save the souls that wander beyond here. So that is as far as, actually what am I saying? We could go further if we were to go that way, but there's a couple other things I want to go take care of over this way, and this is where, you can climb up walls? He can climb up walls, I wasn't expecting that. It gave me a fright. So this is where we're going to be spending the majority of this video at, because there's a lot of stuff that we can do at the Ikana Graveyard. For starters, there's a character over here, and he may look familiar if you've played a certain remake on Nintendo Switch lately.
I am Dompe, the gravekeeper who watches over this graveyard. My face is frightening, but I am not a bad person. All the graves here belong to the family members of the King of Ikana Castle, a place that lies beyond the mountains. Even nowadays, the ghosts come out at night. It is a frightening graveyard. I love this guy so much, and I don't know why.
Alright, so we're going to be continuing on over here, and you may notice that there aren't usually giant skeletons in the way. Let's see if this helps him.
Young swordsman, you summoned me?
But before we may exchange words, I must first test your skill. Stop me in my tracks. Pass through the barrier of flame. Show me what you've got. No fair, you get a head start. That's what I always thought when I was a kid. But I want to equip the bunny hood for this real quick because this will make it way easier to catch up to Mr. Giant Skeleton Man. I know he has a official name, but his official name is actually title won't say right now. But I know what his official name is. I just don't want to say it because Giant Skeleton Man sounds more epic. Owie! 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 Alright, so yeah, this is a kind of a mini-boss. So hurry, chase him until you get your chance at him. But if you get too close, you might regret it. I'm not afraid of anything. Challenge accepted. Ouch. So we can do some spin attacks, but you also want to be careful because doing some super powerful attacks like that will also cause him to do like a jumping attack, which you want to be careful with. Thankfully though, if you have the gilded sword like me, then you should be fine because he doesn't actually have that much health. Wait, stand down. I admit defeat. I commanded the Ikana army atop the hill in the name of the Ikana kingdom. I am called Skullakita. Since being shamed by loss in a battle within my kingdom, I have waited here for one to come and awaken my soul. Young swordsman who has awakened and definitely defeat me. I shall rely on your power to fulfill my request. I ask you to take my soul, which rests in the fiercely burning flame, I can't read, and convey my words to my men, who, even in death, remain loyal to me. Tell them the war has ended. Then I shall be able to drift quietly into sleep. Captain, sir? May I take leave, sir? You got the captain's hat. The ghosts of 100 soldiers swear allegiance to this symbol of authority. Now I gotta say, this is probably one of the coolest designs of a mask in this entire game. I can't really put my finger on why though. I just really love the design of the captain's hat in particular. What I'm not a fan of though is the design of the Garrow mask, and I have a reason why. In the Nintendo 64 version, this is what that mask looked like. I don't know why they changed it, but I don't know if it's just the fact that I'm used to how it originally looked and it always throws me off whenever I see this version, but I'm just not really that big of a fan of this mask. I mean, it is kind of cool, and it does definitely have its uses later on, which we'll be getting to later. I mean, heck, we already saw one of them right now. It's kind of required to get this for the story. But personally speaking, I'm a much bigger fan of the captain's hat. I might just be crazy, but I seem to remember on the Nintendo 64 version, this cutscene would skip whenever you'd replay this a second time. But we're to be repeating this boss fight for a split second to demonstrate some things that are pretty interesting. Whenever Captain Kita, whatever his name is, whenever he is out, Dompe will not be in the graveyard. And listen closely for a moment. The music just abruptly ends, and Dompe reappears. I don't know if this is an oversight or something like that, but that's just really funny in my opinion. And now I'd like to demonstrate what happens if you fail to defeat Kita before he gets to the top. There we go. I can never remember how to play this song. If you could not even catch me, then that must be all the strength you have. Oh well, we tried. Now that we've taken care of that, we're not quite done with everything that we need to take care of for the main story of this game. So, everything else we'll be taking care of in this video is going to be done mostly in this area. So, actually, wait, I want to see what happens when we talk to Dompe. Let's go over here and talk to you. Oh, where are they out when it's not even night? Ah! Oh, the poor guy. Alright, there's a save point right here if you want it. Definitely going to be useful for what's going to be coming up pretty soon. But without further ado, let's skip forward in time. And now that it's nighttime, we can see a couple of these skeletons are wandering the graveyard. So let's go talk to them for a little bit. First of all, I want to talk to this guy because he looks like he's having the time of his life. Or afterlife, I should say, because he's kind of dead. Oh, Captain. Excuse me, sir. The squad leader is over by the grave that's under our guard today, sir. So I believe all the skeletons will say the exact same thing no matter which one you talk to. But I just want to keep talking to them anyway. But I apparently can't talk to them. There we go. So yeah, you need to talk to them twice and they'll all say the same thing. But if you take off the captain's hat, then they will go after you, so just keep that in mind. But they'll leave you alone as long as you have this mask on. So I want to go over here and talk to this one. Huh? Ah, Captain, sir. Excuse me, sir. Everyone, give the captain your attention. We haven't seen you in some time, Captain, sir. As per your orders, sir, we've been guarding these graves closely. A different one each day. We have all been expecting your next order, sir. Open it. Yes, sir. Everyone, follow me. You killed the mood. I don't know why it took a moment for the screen to come up. Soldiers who loyally obey their captain's orders, they guard Ikana Graveyard. And now we're beneath the graveyard. So while we're going over here, I want to talk about a little story about the planning process of this Let's Play. But first of all, this right here, we want to destroy all these bats in this area. We don't necessarily have to. It's just very well worth your time to go take care of this. So what you want to do in this room instead is use the fire arrows to light up all the torches and stuff like that. But I find it easier to just destroy all the bats in this room so that they're not in the way, because they're always like bumping into you whenever you're trying to aim and things like that. So let's take care of you. Maybe on top of the treasure chest. It bumped me out of the way! It bumped me out of the way. I want to be on top of the treasure chest. Oh well. We got 50 rubies! Yay! So yeah, the thing I was mentioning a moment ago was that back during my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, one of the things that I did during that Let's Play was I removed all the repetitive text boxes whenever you pick up a collectible item. The reason why I did that was so that it wouldn't mess up the groove with the video, but the thing with that was that it was easier to do that with post-commentary, but whenever I tried doing a live commentary, it was always way more annoying than... It was way more troublesome than it was worth to sync up my commentary back to normal. So even though I really want to do that with this Let's Play, that's the reason why I'm not editing out all the repetitive dialogue with the Bomber's Notebook and things like that. Also, this right here, it doesn't work in this version, but if you're able to glitch the camera into the armor on the Nintendo 64 version, this is what you'll see. What's a woman? Alright then, so now we have a mini-boss. It's an Iron Knuckle. Stay away from its axe attack and then look for a chance to retaliate. Alright, so this is definitely no pushover. You need to be careful with this thing, because that swinging axe will definitely do a lot of damage. It kind of looks more like a Fire Emblem character than a Zelda character, in my personal opinion. But, yeah, now we're in the second phase of the battle, and it's kind of interesting to point out the fact that you could see the face of a Gerudo inside the helmet in the Nintendo 64 version of this game. Considering the fact that when the part of the armor is removed, you can also see kind of like a more curvy figure than what you'd normally see for these enemies. It's believed that the reason why they did that was to save on development time, because it's no secret that this game reused a lot of assets from Ocarina of Time, so they probably just figured that using the character model of a Gerudo would have sped up development for the Iron Knuckles and things like that.
Are you the one who freed my soul? I served the Ikana royal family. I am the composer called Flat. The songs connected to the royal family that remain here were all composed by my brother and me. Oh, Sharp, my dear brother. He sold his soul to the devil and was the one who locked me in here. You who do not fear the dead, learn well the song that is inscribed behind me. And if you ever meet my brother, I'd like you to inform him, the 1,000 years of raindrops summoned by my song are my tears. The lightning that strikes the earth is my anger. I have made my request. You explore the Ikana Graveyard underground on the first day and learn to Flat's Song of Storms. We're not going to be getting into the uses of the Song of Storms quite yet, because the things required for it don't come up until a little bit later. But the Song of Storms, as you may or may not know, is a fan favorite song within the Zelda community. A lot of people say this is their favorite that you could play with the Ocarina, and it's my personal favorite too. I love the Song of Storms, but I also really like the Song of Time and the Song of Healing and Epona's Song and things like that. They have some really great songs for the Ocarina in this game, and it's kind of amazing that they did that, because the amount of notes that you can actually play in these games is a little limited compared to what you can play on an actual Ocarina. And it's really amazing that they're able to create such great music with the limitations they had.